Meet Nick, a successful professional who earns six figures and lives in a beautiful neighborhood. He drives a luxury car, yet every single month, his bank account feels strangely hollow. Despite his high salary, Nick is constantly haunted by the feeling of being completely broke. He is currently trapped in a cycle where his wealth is being stolen while he sleeps. This invisible drain on his finances is known as the rapidly growing subscription economy. He feels like his bank account is suffering a slow death by 1,000 cuts. How can a high earner like Nick still feel like he is losing the financial game? The answer lies in the subtle shift from a traditional ownership economy to digital feudalism. Nick, like many Americans, is suffering from a massive and unrecognized total cost of ownership. Studies show that most people believe they spend approximately $86 monthly on subscriptions. This common belief is a dangerous illusion that hides the true scale of the wealth transfer. In reality, the average American spends $273 every month on these services. That is over 3 times the amount most people think they are losing to subscriptions. This constant financial leak creates a significant opportunity cost that destroys long-term wealth building. Every streaming service and app adds up to a staggering annual cost of over $3,000. Specifically, the average person spends over $3,200 a year on digital app services. This massive annual drain directly impacts the stability of Nick's fragile personal savings account. Shockingly, the average American currently has less than $3,200 in their savings account. Essentially, your entire potential savings are being swallowed by apps and recurring monthly digital fees. This startling disconnect defines the modern struggle for wealth in an age of endless rentals. Nick is realizing that his hard work is merely funding someone else's permanent recurring revenue. Is it possible your wealth is being quietly siphoned away by the apps on your phone? Nick believes he spends $86, but the actual numbers tell a far different story. He is dead wrong about his expenses, and this error is costing him his financial freedom. The gap between perception and reality reveals the true impact of this hidden wealth transfer. This mental disconnect isn't just Nick's problem. It is a widespread symptom of the modern subscription economy. Your brain is essentially hardwired to ignore the small, recurring leaks that drain your monthly bank account. We have entered a new era of digital feudalism where we own nothing but pay for everything. Research proves that most people believe they only spend about $86 every month on these services. This $86 estimate feels safe, manageable, and completely disconnected from the cold, hard financial reality. In truth, the average American is actually burning through $273 every single month. That massive gap between expectation and reality represents a silent, invisible wealth transfer from your pocket to corporations. We call this phenomenon death by 1,000 cuts, where tiny individual charges bleed your savings dry. The subscription economy relies on a set-and-forget mentality to keep you paying for services you rarely use. Every $10 app or streaming service contributes to a total cost of ownership that most consumers never calculate. By moving away from the ownership economy, we have traded long-term assets for temporary, recurring access rights. This shift creates a massive opportunity cost, as that missing capital never gets a chance to grow. You might feel like you are earning enough, yet your wealth seems to evaporate into thin digital air. Your brain focuses on the individual price tags, while completely ignoring the staggering cumulative impact of these fees. Companies intentionally design their billing cycles to be as frictionless and invisible as possible to your conscious mind. When the payment is automatic, the psychological pain of spending money simply vanishes from your daily awareness. This systematic underestimation is exactly how the subscription model maintains its suffocating grip on your financial future. We perceive our spending as a series of small choices rather than one giant monthly financial obligation. The reality of spending $273 is far more damaging than the $86 we imagine. Understanding this mental trap is the first step toward reclaiming your hard-earned money from this digital drain. Every forgotten trial and unused membership represents another small wound in your personal path to financial freedom. This wealth transfer happens silently, one monthly billing cycle at a time, until your potential savings are gone. The gap between what we think we pay and what we actually lose is truly alarming. We must confront the total cost of ownership before these recurring charges define our entire financial existence. To understand why Nick feels this way, we must look back at a world that doesn't exist anymore. Our grandparents didn't just use things for a season. They own them with a deep sense of pride. In their world, the ownership economy provided the stable bedrock for every family's long-term financial security. When they purchased a vehicle, they didn't expect to trade it in for a newer model immediately. Historically, car owners drove their vehicles for approximately 15 years before even considering a potential replacement. This decade and a half of service meant years without any monthly payments draining their bank accounts. They understood the total cost of ownership and prioritized long-term utility over the latest flashy features. Their homes weren't seen as transient stops, but as permanent foundations for building true multi-generational wealth. On average, homeowners lived in their houses for approximately 30 years to fully realize their investment. This commitment allowed them to escape the cycle of endless debt and find true financial peace. But today, that solid bedrock of stability has slowly transformed into dangerous, shifting quicksand. We have transitioned into a subscription economy where the concept of permanent ownership is rapidly disappearing. When was the last time you bought something and never had to pay for it again? Instead of building equity, we are fueling a massive wealth transfer from individuals to giant corporations. This shift represents a new age of digital feudalism where we pay for the right to exist. Every recurring charge feels like a minor annoyance, but together they create a death by 1,000 cuts. We are trading our long-term freedom for the short-term convenience of having everything at our fingertips. The opportunity cost of these monthly fees is the house or retirement fund we never start. We are becoming digital peasants, working hard just to maintain access to the tools of modern life. Are we truly comfortable living in a world where we own nothing and yet pay for everything? This rental economy demands our constant labor just to keep the lights on and the apps running. To regain control, we must analyze the total cost of ownership for every service we currently use. If we don't act now, our financial future will be nothing more than a series of endless invoices. The stable ground our grandparents stood upon has officially turned into quicksand beneath our very feet. It starts small for Nick, perhaps with a single movie here or a specialized playlist discovered there. This convenience feels harmless, but it marks the beginning of a modern wealth transfer we barely notice. Think back to your great-grandmother, who lived in a world with only 3 simple television channels. Today, the landscape has exploded into a chaotic digital battlefield, famously known as the ruthless streaming wars. We are drowning in options, from the cinematic giants of Netflix to the family magic of Disney+. A standard monthly Netflix subscription costs $15, while Disney Plus asks for another $8 monthly. Then you add $12 for Hulu and $10 for Spotify to keep the music playing. Before you know it, names like Amazon Prime, HBO Max, and Apple TV are cluttering your statement. Peacock and Paramount Plus join the fray, each demanding their own small cut of your hard-earned paycheck. This is the subscription economy in action, where every digital door requires its own recurring monthly toll. For professionals like Nick, these costs are the invisible paper cuts slowly draining his long-term financial health. The average household is paying for 4.3 different streaming services every single month of the year. But here is the kicker: the average person only actually watches content on 2.4 of them. Why are you paying for an entire library that you essentially never even bother to step inside? It is like paying for an all-you-can-eat buffet, but only eating a single breadstick every visit. We are trapped in a cycle of digital feudalism, renting access to culture we will never truly own. The opportunity cost is staggering when you calculate the total cost of ownership over several long years. Each overlapping service represents a death by 1,000 cuts to your potential savings and future wealth. Is having everything really worth the high price of owning absolutely nothing at the end of the day? We find ourselves stuck in a perpetual loop of paying for content that we rarely even consume. This shift from an ownership economy to a rental model is quietly eroding our collective financial foundation. We are not paying for entertainment. We are paying for the mere option of entertainment instead. And unfortunately for our savings, that option is becoming a very expensive burden to carry. The stable ground of ownership has vanished, replaced by a monthly bill that never seems to end. Streaming was just the gateway drug, but the real wealth drain waits right in your own driveway. We've been tricked into thinking an 8-year car loan is normal, but it is actually a trap. This isn't just a loan anymore. It is a permanent subscription to a rapidly depreciating asset. Your grandparents drove the same car for 15 years, but today the finish line keeps moving back. In the modern subscription economy, you are trapped on a hamster wheel where debt never ends. Consider the staggering reality that the average new car payment in America now exceeds $700. Most buyers focus only on that monthly figure, completely ignoring the total cost of ownership. New car payment terms are stretching longer than ever, often lasting for 7 to 8 years. When you sign for 96 months, you aren't buying a vehicle, you're renting a lifestyle. Think about a car with a $50,000 sticker price that seems almost affordable at first glance. Paying $700 every month for 8 years adds up to a shocking $67,000. That $17,000 difference is a pure wealth transfer from your pocket to the bank's vault. This massive interest represents a significant opportunity cost that could have fueled your actual retirement savings. By the time you finally own the car, its value has plummeted towards $0. You've spent nearly a decade paying for a hunk of metal that is now worth very little. Instead of escaping the cycle, most people simply trade in and start the clock over again. Does the payment ever actually end if you trade in your vehicle every 3 short years? This cycle is the definition of death by 1,000 cuts for your monthly household budget. Companies like Fair and Canvas are now cutting out the middleman with direct car subscription services. These services lean into the shift, turning the act of driving into a permanent monthly utility. Is your car truly a tool for freedom, or has it become a chain to your desk? There is a different path where you break the cycle of digital feudalism and reclaim your income. You could purchase a reliable 3-year-old Honda or Toyota for approximately $25,000 in cash. Choosing used over new eliminates the interest trap and keeps $17,000 in your pocket. Instead of a 72-month sentence, you gain the freedom of a car that is truly yours. But the allure of the new is powerful, fueled by a system designed to keep you paying. We are witnessing the slow erosion of the ownership economy in favor of perpetual monthly rentals. Every signature on a long-term lease is a brick in the wall of your financial prison. Stop viewing your transportation as a monthly bill and start seeing it as a massive investment. You aren't just buying a car. You're buying a $700 a month permanent bill that never dies. The subscription trap follows you from your driveway right into your professional office workspace. Imagine if you had to pay monthly rent just to keep your own family photos. In our modern digital world, this is exactly what giants like Adobe and Microsoft require. We have traded the old ownership economy for a system that feels like digital feudalism. Think back to when the Adobe Creative Suite cost a one-time purchase price of $1,200. Once you paid that flat fee, you owned the tools for your entire career's work. Today, that same software suite demands a recurring subscription fee of $60 every month. That monthly charge quickly balloons into an annual Adobe subscription cost of $720. Over 5 years, your total cost of ownership skyrockets to $3,600 for software. You are paying 3 times more than before for tools you will never actually own. This isn't just a creative problem. The subscription economy has infected every corner of business. Microsoft Office and Google Workspace have replaced permanent licenses with eternal monthly rent cycles. Essential tools like Dropbox, Slack, and Zoom now function as recurring tolls on your productivity. Even back-office staples like QuickBooks and Figma have shifted to this never-ending payment model. For small business owners, these monthly software subscriptions often exceed $500 in total. These small monthly fees quietly aggregate into a massive $6,000 annual software drain. This massive wealth transfer has helped Adobe reach a staggering market capitalization of $240 billion. Who really owns your work if you stop paying the ransom for your own data? Every project you create is effectively held hostage behind a paywall you can never escape. This is the death by 1,000 cuts that turns your hard-earned income into corporate equity. The opportunity cost of this permanent rent is a future where you own absolutely nothing. 5 years of renting Photoshop costs 3 times more than it used to cost to own it. And then there's the subscription we keep out of pure guilt and misplaced optimism. Most of us are paying $60 a month just to feel bad about ourselves. Is your gym membership a genuine fitness plan or just a monthly guilt donation? Even Nick, with his calculated budget, underestimates the true total cost of ownership here. The average gym membership costs $60 per month, quietly draining bank accounts every cycle. You aren't paying for the equipment. You are paying for the person you hope to become. Industry data shows the average member visits the gym less than twice per single week. This gap between intention and action is the bedrock of the modern subscription economy. Over a full year, Those $60 payments stack up to a surprising $720. It is the classic death by 1,000 cuts, where small bills bleed your wealth dry. In the old ownership economy, you bought a weight set once and owned it forever. Now you are effectively renting your health in a cycle of never-ending monthly fees. Why is it always so much harder to cancel a gym than to join one? They count on the friction of cancellation to keep the wealth transfer flowing month after month. Maintaining that membership for 3 consecutive years will cost you over $2,000. Every unused swipe of your key card is a victory for the gym's recurring revenue model. Consider the opportunity cost of that money if it were actually working for your future. We keep paying because stopping feels like admitting defeat to our own personal fitness goals. This is digital feudalism applied to the physical body, extracting rent for a promised lifestyle. You are paying for a version of yourself that simply does not exist right now. The gym industry is built on the $2,000 hope that one day you will show up. But if you think $60 a month is bad, look at your driveway. Even the tool you are likely using to watch this video right now is part of the drain. We think of our phones as a necessity, but the service has become a luxury bill we cannot afford. To understand the wealth transfer, we must remember the stable world of our grandparents' generation. Back then, a landline was a tool, costing families a predictable $30 every single month. It was a utility you owned and controlled, not a mounting debt that follows you everywhere. But today, the subscription economy has transformed this basic communication tool into a heavy financial anchor. The average American household now spends a staggering $144 every single month. When you add it all up, that annual spending on wireless phone service hits nearly $1,800. When did talking on the phone start costing you nearly $2,000 every single year? Part of this death by 1,000 cuts is the privilege of financing a new glass rectangle. A sleek new phone costing $1,200 is often hidden behind a small monthly payment. You might only see a $50 charge on your bill over a 24-month financing period. This financing makes the total bill look smaller, masking the high total cost of ownership. You aren't just paying for service. You are paying to rent the latest status symbol in installments. This is digital feudalism, where you never truly own the hardware you rely on for daily life. Every upgrade cycle resets the clock, ensuring your money keeps flowing toward the tech giants forever. This shift from an ownership economy to a rental model is quietly eroding your long-term savings. The opportunity cost of that $1,800 a year could have built real generational wealth instead. We have traded our financial freedom for the convenience of a device that loses value every day. In just a generation, our phone bill jumped from $30 to nearly $200. But it gets even more absurd as we drift further into this relentless and draining subscription economy. We have reached peak subscription when we pay companies to mail us beans from across the street. This isn't just about convenience. It is a calculated wealth transfer hidden behind a sleek digital interface. Consider the trendy coffee delivery services that promise the perfect morning brew right at your front doorstep. These convenient monthly plans often demand $25 for a single bag of roasted coffee beans. It feels like progress, but it is actually a primary example of our modern digital feudalism. You aren't just buying coffee. You are subscribing to a lifestyle that slowly drains your bank account. Let's compare that $25 recurring fee to the reality of the traditional ownership economy. The exact same high-quality coffee typically costs only $8 when purchased at a local grocery store. By choosing the subscription, you are effectively paying a massive luxury tax for basic morning automation. Is the minor effort of adding coffee to a grocery list really worth such a staggering price? This is where the opportunity cost of our modern convenience begins to look like a financial trap. We are witnessing a death by 1,000 cuts, one small recurring monthly payment at a time. Every automated delivery represents a choice to value effortless living over long-term wealth and personal savings. The total cost of ownership for these simple pleasures is skyrocketing without us even noticing the change. We trade our financial freedom for the illusion of a frictionless life managed by sophisticated corporate algorithms. At what point does this desired automation simply become a steep tax on our collective human laziness? This coffee case study reveals how deeply the subscription trap has penetrated our daily domestic routines. We are paying a 300% markup just to avoid the simple task of making a grocery list. This quiet wealth drain is the final frontier in the total colonization of our household spending habits. After claiming your coffee and cars, the subscription economy is now invading the physical walls of home. This expansion represents a massive wealth transfer that reaches far beyond digital files and streaming services. Look at your wardrobe, once the bedrock of personal ownership and a collection of lifetime fashion investments. Now companies like Stitch Fix are transforming your morning routine into a perpetual and exhausting rental cycle. You no longer buy quality clothes to keep. You pay monthly fees for the privilege of temporary style. Rent the Runway ensures that even your formal attire is part of this expanding web of digital feudalism. This shift represents the ultimate death by 1,000 cuts as your closet becomes a recurring liability. The ownership economy is fading fast, replaced by a system where you never truly own your appearance. But the colonization doesn't stop at the bedroom door. It moves deeper into your primary living space. Imagine sitting on a designer sofa that belongs to a corporation rather than being a family heirloom. Companies like Furnish are now offering entire rooms of furniture on a revolving and expensive subscription basis. Your dining table and chairs are no longer assets but recurring line items on a monthly statement. Every piece of wood and fabric becomes part of a calculated wealth transfer from your bank account. The opportunity cost of renting your lifestyle is the steady erosion of your long-term financial independence. Instead of building equity in your possessions, you are simply funding someone else's massive corporate balance sheet. We are witnessing a radical transition where the total cost of ownership is ignored for temporary convenience. In this new reality, your home is effectively a stage set that you rent from multiple providers. From the shoes on your feet to the bed you sleep in, nothing is truly yours anymore. This is the hidden architecture of a world where everything is borrowed and nothing is actually owned. Every room in the modern house is now rented, creating a cycle of permanent and inescapable debt. We have traded the security of ownership for the illusion of variety and the burden of payments. This expansion into physical goods marks a terrifying new phase in the growth of the subscription economy. Our very existence is being partitioned into monthly installments that we will pay until the day we die. Why are these corporations so obsessed with locking you into a recurring monthly payment plan? This trend is not an accident. It is a calculated and systemic wealth transfer. Your perceived convenience is actually the fuel driving their massive and record-breaking stock market valuations. We are witnessing a shift from an ownership economy to a model of digital feudalism. This relentless subscription economy acts as a wealth siphon from the middle class to Wall Street. Every monthly payment you make represents a tiny but permanent puncture in your personal net worth. While you enjoy temporary access, these companies are building permanent empires on your recurring debt. Take a hard look at Adobe, a company that has reached a staggering market capitalization of $240 billion. Their transition to cloud subscriptions turned a software tool into a permanent, high-yield wealth-generating machine. Consider the streaming giant Netflix, which now commands a market capitalization of over $150 billion. These astronomical numbers are built directly upon the foundation of your inescapable monthly entertainment bills. You must ask yourself, are you building your own empire, or are you building Adobe's? The total cost of ownership has been replaced by a lifelong ransom for basic digital tools. This phenomenon is often described as death by 1,000 cuts to your long-term savings. The opportunity cost of these payments is the retirement you are slowly and quietly trading away. Is your monthly bill funding your personal freedom or a Silicon Valley CEO's third vacation home? The subscription model is even invading your wardrobe through services like Stitch Fix and Rent the Runway. Even the furniture in your living room is now being monetized by companies like Furnish. Every area of your life is being partitioned into small installments that never actually end. This shift prevents consumer wealth accumulation by ensuring that your capital never stays in your pocket. When you own nothing, you possess no assets that can appreciate or provide future financial security. Corporate net worth climbs higher as they successfully convert your equity into their guaranteed revenue. It is the ultimate corporate dream, a customer base that pays forever but never owns anything. By choosing the subscription path, you are trading your future financial independence for temporary, fleeting access. These companies are not just selling services. They are effectively harvesting your future earning potential. Recall the software ransoms that have now become a permanent tax on your professional productivity. Your bank account is the well that these corporate giants are pumping dry 1 month at a time. Every dollar added to their market cap is a dollar removed from your personal net worth. The convenience they promise is merely a mask for the systemic destruction of your private wealth. Break free from the cycle before your entire existence is owned by a corporate board of directors. $1,100 a month is the average financial drain for a typical successful professional today. Let's do the final math that no one wants to see regarding the relentless subscription economy. Think back to the expensive car payments, the phone bills, and those recurring streaming services. When you aggregate these costs, you are bleeding over $1,100 every single month. This monthly total represents the hidden cost of participating in the modern ownership economy. It might feel manageable now, but this death by 1,000 cuts slowly destroys your future. Imagine a scenario where you stopped feeding the corporate machine and invested that money instead. At a steady 7% return, that monthly drain transforms into a massive financial engine. Over 30 years, that $1,100 grows into approximately $13 million. $13 million is the real price of the convenience you are currently paying for. This is the staggering opportunity cost of digital feudalism that keeps you working forever. Is any entertainment service or automated coffee really worth $13 million of your life? We are witnessing a massive wealth transfer from your pocket directly to corporate boardrooms. What would your life look like if you finally owned your future instead of renting it? Think back to Nick, who started this journey with a small $86 streaming bill. His minor leak eventually turned into a flood that completely drowned his long-term wealth potential. Every dollar you surrender today creates a massive $13 million hole in your ultimate retirement. You can continue paying for an illusion or begin building your own personal financial empire. Breaking this cycle is the only way to escape the grip of digital feudalism today. Total cost of ownership involves looking past the monthly fee and seeing the lost millions. It is time to reclaim your income and stop the massive wealth transfer once and for all. $13 million is the final price of convenience in this relentless subscription trap. To reclaim that $13 million, you must first break the chains of this relentless subscription economy. It is time for a ruthless audit to stop the wealth transfer from your pocket to corporate giants. We start with a simple but powerful rule. You only need one service for every digital category. Currently, the average household pays for 4.3 different streaming services every single month. Yet most people only actually watch content on 2.4 of those expensive monthly services. That gap represents pure waste, a classic example of death by 1,000 cuts to your savings. Look at your screen right now and pick just one champion from your list of video platforms. Delete the rest today to reclaim your opportunity cost and begin building your own ownership economy. Apply this same surgical precision to your fitness routine by keeping only one active gym membership. Cloud storage is another trap where multiple providers create a digital feudalism that drains your bank account. Consolidate your files into a single secure platform and cancel every redundant backup service immediately. Streaming music should follow suit. Choose one library and let the others go without any lingering guilt. Professional software often hides overlapping tools that contribute to the total cost of ownership of your career. Evaluate every tool you use and strip away the vanity subscriptions that provide no real daily value. Each canceled service is a small victory against the system designed to keep you perpetually renting life. This momentum builds quickly as you see your monthly expenses shrink and your personal wealth grow. You are no longer a passive victim of the subscription economy, but a conscious architect of wealth. This audit isn't just about saving pennies. It is about taking back control of your financial future. Once you trim the fat, you can finally focus on the bigger traps hidden in plain sight. Stop paying for what you do not use and start investing in what you actually own. It's time to stop being a mere subscriber and finally start being a true owner again. So how exactly do we take back that $13 million from the subscription economy? Your first step to freedom begins with a deep dive into your most recent bank statements. Look closely for the tiny financial paper cuts that are slowly bleeding your long-term wealth dry. Highlight every recurring charge that no longer provides you with genuine value or daily joy. These automated payments are the chains of digital feudalism, keeping you from building real equity. Be ruthless as you cancel the services you haven't touched in the last 30 days. Every subscription canceled eliminates a hidden opportunity cost that keeps you from building real wealth. You are effectively stopping the wealth transfer from your pocket to a massive corporate vault. Returning to an ownership economy requires a fundamental shift back toward a traditional and sturdy mindset. Healing these financial paper cuts today will protect your future from 1,000 tiny, hidden stings. Imagine the power of redirected capital when it is no longer wasted on mindless digital convenience. This strategic audit is the only way to break the cycle of endless monthly rentals. Ask yourself which minor recurring expense you can choose to heal and eliminate right now. Consider the total cost of ownership rather than just the seductive, low monthly entry price. Small victories in your bank statement today lead to massive financial mountains in your future. Commitment to this process is the difference between being a renter and being a master. The subscription economy thrives on your distraction, so focus your attention on every single line. Resolve to never pay for access when you could be investing in permanent, tangible assets. Are you truly ready to own your life again and escape the trap of convenience? Don't just watch this video. Go look at your bank statement and reclaim your ownership. I will see you in the next one as we continue building your path to wealth.